All right, well, first off, I want to say that everybody in the class did real well during this class. Everybody had an improvement. Everybody went from being very uncomfortable in front of the camera, very uncomfortable doing speaking, to by the time they got to the last one, they were a lot more comfortable. Trying to choose just one person, that would be Elisa Diaz. Remember the first one she came up in, she wasn't dressed well, the camera angle wasn't well, she had a ceiling fan blowing around on the ceiling, and everything in there was pretty much just one big distraction, and she wasn't very focused, and it was kind of obvious. She kind of set the camera up, stood out in front, did a one take, turned it off, and then submitted the video up for everybody to review. The first one, she was fumbling with paper, which was also very distracting, and this last one, it was very obvious that she rehearsed it, she did research on it, she was comfortable with the topic as far as her presentation on the NCAA athletes being paid or not paid. So she did probably the most single one that I could detect as far as where she went from at the beginning class to now. The research, probably Rachel Rhodes on the research. She had the breast milk and breastfeeding informational speech. It was obvious that she went back, she took it back into time. I did not realize that basically wet nurses had to be certified. There was quite a bit of stuff up in there that I picked up on the breastfeeding, but she was very comfortable with the topic. She had researched the topic and delivered it pretty well. So as far as the research, it was there. On a research note, nobody did real well at quoting their sources in the presentations. I don't know if that was a requirement. I meant to a couple times and just plain forgot it. I did tag the research that I had on to the end, so it's kind of hard to tell who had the most research because we never actually got a list of the people that they actually went out to and did the research on. Style, everybody's style improved. Everybody came along better. We had people that went out into their garden and taped the video in the garden when they were talking about gardening. We had people that actually lined up in front of some different places and did much better on style, again from the intro one up in there. As far as style, I think I probably did a lot on style, and the fact that I used props. Nobody else I believe ever saw use a prop. I had pictures to hand out, and I tried to tack those onto the video up in there. So as far as the person with style, I guess it's kind of egotistical, but I think I probably had the best style in the class. But again, I want to point out that everybody's style dramatically improved. My performance along the way, it came up a lot from what I'm used to. I'm used to teaching out of a syllabus, so that I have a 3-day or a 5-day training syllabus that I'm putting on and getting up in front of people, and it's pretty hard to keep them focused if you're not good at public speaking, you don't know your topic, and you don't know the subject you're covering. So this was my first go-round as far as trying to get up in public speaking. What was harder for me was to do the outline, try to stay the outline. I typically found myself, I had more content in my outline than the time would allow me to cover at a rate that was sensible. Could go faster, but then nobody was paying attention. They want to go slower. But again, I've had training in props. I've had training in bringing up examples up in there. Things that I didn't do well, though, were the transitions. I didn't do well transitioning from the introduction into basically the attention getter onto the body, and then wrapping up in conclusion. All that, as far as a short presentation of 5 to 7 minutes, I'm not used to doing something that short, so I don't believe I did very well in doing that part of it. I have had some training from some folks on how to do the presentations, how to make it look like you're not reading from cards, even if you're reading from cards or stuff up in there, and having examples on the back wall so that you can look up at the back wall, look over the camera, and see what's up in your next topic coming up, and your audience and the people on the camera are not really aware that you're even going from the notes. So trying to make stuff interesting, trying to keep the audience engaged. I think I did pretty well on that. The research I did, and I'm getting into a bunch of, I'm sorry about that, but the research I did I felt was pretty good. It didn't know how to write it up when I was doing our web research. We did figure that out, so I learned how to do and add the web credits to the end or to research paper. But all in all, I felt I did it pretty well. I think everybody in the class did well, though. I want to emphasize that one. They came a long way in a short period of time. This is going to be a little shorter than I originally planned it to be. I hope that doesn't count against me very much, but it has been fun. I've enjoyed it. Been a little challenging getting my people together, and standing up in five of your coworkers and giving a presentation is a bit of a challenge. So I do appreciate the time, the class time, and thank you very much.